Hi everyone, my name is Delia. I'm a director of marketing at Pivot3, and today we're starting our Adapting to the New Reality series. We'll be bringing you a few different perspectives from different industry leaders across various organizations in the hopes of sharing their knowledge and sharing their experience and possibly shining some light on ways how to navigate this new reality. So today I have with me our Chief of Revenue, Wong, who is going to be answering a series of questions and hopefully share something interesting and something useful that we can all leverage in, again, today's new reality. So hi, Greg. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Delia. I'm doing great, thank you, and look forward to answering any questions, and hopefully everyone finds this helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first question is, what market trends are you seeing amongst our client base? Obviously, you talk to our clients a lot on a daily basis. You hear it from our sort of account executives, both like manufacturers and retailers. Are there any trends, or are we getting more of a mixed message? What's happening with them?
It feels like we're seeing the tale of two cities, right? We have certain customers that, for one reason or another, are accelerating. So some of our customers, they're either in the medical industries, they're producing medical devices, ventilators, or they've been able to repurpose their factories or their stores to help what's going on in the world today. And so they're accelerating. So we have some customers that are extending their commerce and digital footprints. They're optimizing their systems. We're seeing people that, especially on the retail side, where they're expecting all the revenue to come through commerce because all their stores are closed. And so one of the things that where we normally do holiday prep, for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we start doing that called late summer. We're starting to see that actually happen now because of flash sales and other campaigns where we're starting to see spikes in their commerce traffic. We then have other customers where they're maybe in luxury goods, they're selling products that are really important to people's lives and when the economy is doing well. But in this economy where people are retrenching, they're just not buying their products. And so we have a few customers that have laid off 80 to 90% of their staff, for example, and they're just trying to survive. So those type of customers are, all about cash preservation, whereas we have other customers that actually are accelerating and talking to us about how do we do more now. And maybe a good example is we have a grocery chain in the New York area that was doing an SAP Hybris or SAP Commerce implementation. And what they had a certain rollout plan and a certain schedule with a certain, I'll say, budget. Well, their business has exploded, right? Everyone's going shopping, everyone's going to stores. They're considered an essential service. And so all of a sudden, online ordering, online and pick up at the curb, all these type of things are becoming so important, so critical to their business that they're accelerating the roadmap.
Right. Sounds like it depends on the type of the industry vertical you're in, whether you're accelerating or sort of like in cash preservation mode, which totally makes sense. Have you, in your career, have you experienced anything similar to this level of uncertainty? Like I know we had SARS back in early 2000s and the recession in North America in 2008.
Yeah, so I think there's some similarities, but nothing has ever hit us at the speed that this has hit us. So the COVID-19 epidemic, we went from 4 weeks ago, we couldn't hire people fast enough. It was such a tight labor market that we were having to pay premium salaries. And the number one problem that we had was a talent war. We're based in Toronto. We have a lot of tech companies. We have tech companies that were growing and doing really well, and they were just hiring everybody. And so it was really tough. And our revenue was constrained more by our ability to hire than it was by our ability to sell. Fast forward less than a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, companies are doing layoffs, businesses are freezing, they're stopping spend, retailers are shutting down or have been forced to shut down all their stores. And so all of a sudden, the labor market now is available, but sales is a problem. So we've never seen, and I personally have never seen something change that fast. The good news for us is, as a company, our model has been to help our customers adapt relentlessly. And that motto has never been as important as it is right today. And I'll be honest, although it was our motto and it was our saying, is what we've tried to do as a company, we've never had to adapt this relentlessly, either ourselves or help our customers adapt relentlessly this fast. So what this epidemic is really forcing us is how to help our customers not only survive, but grow and figure out new ways of doing business in this economy. And it's very different than SARS, very different than the financial crisis in the past, because we had more warning signs. We could see it coming. We could do things gradually. And we just have had no ability to do things gradually. It had to be really fast in this case.
Right, right. So again, like it just confirms that nobody has ever seen in our lifetime anything like this. Being an MDM expert and having a huge, strong background in data management, any recommendations on how organizations can leverage data to help with various disruptions like a supply chain, inventory management, order fulfillment, can data help in this type of situation?
I mean, absolutely. Data is critical, right? I mean, when you start looking at what's going on, supply chains are being disrupted, inventory levels are either incorrect, not being understood, so things are not showing up on shelves, right? We've all gone to our local supermarket and seen, oh, there's no toilet paper on the shelves, there's no cat food left, or whatever the case, whatever you're trying to buy, or there's a limited amount of eggs, for example. As soon as you have a really good data strategy and as soon as you focus on a really solid and transparent information supply chain, you then all of a sudden get visibility up and down. Who are your vendors? What are their products? How fast can they turn around products? How can you predict inventory? So if you think about just master data, you can accomplish a certain amount. When you start looking at all your transactional data, your vendor data, your customer data, your product data, your location data, and start bringing all this stuff together and starting to really analyze, how do I get products faster? How do I predict my demand much faster? How do I predict my suppliers and any disruptions along that supply chain? We can start, ensuring that we can take care of any blips that we see in the supply chain, any risks. We can help mitigate those risks so that we can get the products we need faster, because people are still buying, right? When you look at what's going on, people are not going into as many stores, but people and commerce is still happening, right? We had a customer just recently that told us that 3 weeks ago, their orders went down to about 10% of what their plan was. And in the last week and a half, their e-commerce orders has gone up by 250% of their original plan, right, for that week. So when you start looking at it from that perspective, people are buying. So if people are looking to buy things and making sure that they can get the products they want, making sure that stores actually have it, can deliver it, that whole supply chain is managed well and optimized becomes really important. And what do you need to make that happen? You need data around analytics, around predictability, around your supply chain, your vendors, your inventory, everything.
Speaking of data, there are studies and supporting data providing sort of like insights that companies that invest more in times of crisis, like set the different turns, they actually benefit more in the future. So while almost like the rest of the world, I don't know, I'm going to say like 90% of the world is like in self-preservation, cash preservation mode. It's hard to do. It's almost like the opposite, what everyone else is doing. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Gartner released a document or paper, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. Right. And what it showed is it did an analysis of multiple crises over, I don't know, 30, 40, 50-year span. And it showed that companies that invested heavily in either their technology, their supply chain, marketing, a number of different areas in times of crisis, they came out of the crisis and leapfrogged their competitors. So, while it's absolutely natural that we want to preserve cash, we want to kind of retrench in these times, if you have the ability to invest in the proper things, become more efficient, innovate in this time, you're likely to come out and do much better and truly leapfrog your competitors. So, we're challenging ourselves and going back to our customers and challenging them to say, let's look at the really important things. What are the things that you really want to accomplish? How do we disrupt your business? How do we offer a better customer experience so that as the market comes back, you get a larger market share? And I think that's the thing to focus on, right? Not all investments are made equal. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But when there's really strong investments, when there's things that can actually make a difference coming out, retrench and do really focused investments. And those are the ones that will pay off.
And the last question is, so like, as we already know, turns or like crisis can come unexpected, as we already all experience, and it can take different forms. Obviously, what we're experiencing today is really is a huge crisis, but there are also types of turns like an unexpected competitors coming in, or you have a really bad social media viral that's anti-brand for your company. And The notion of infinite adaptability mindset sounds like something is every company should be adapting. How do you think Pivotry can help with that? Sort of like having that mindset, whether it comes to like having technology architecture that's easily adaptable to different situations, or having resources, whether internal or external, that are also easily adaptable. How do you think Pivotry can help with that?
When we think about infinite adaptability, we think about people. And let's start with people, right? The best ideas and the best way to adapt is by tapping the really smart people that we have in our organization. And so when we looked at this, we said, well, the first thing we need to do as a company in this crisis was take care of our team, take care of our people. If our team feels protected, if our team feels safe, if they feel that we're all in this together, then they can focus on trying to help our customers. So the way we did this and the way we approached this infinite adaptability was take care of our team, make sure that they're protected, make sure they understand they're safe so they can focus on helping our customers. Next step was to talk to our customers and understand what are they going through, what are their challenges, what are the things that are impacting them, right? Just being a retailer or a distributor or a manufacturer doesn't mean all retailers are the same. Some are expanding, some are contracting. We talked about a supermarket, for example, is probably expanding their investments right now. But if you're a jewelry retailer, there's probably not a lot of people going into Tiffany's at this time, right?
Right.
So there's different needs, but by tapping our people, by having them go in and understand what's going on with our customers, they're able to come up with ideas and solutions to help our customers adapt quickly. Small examples: we had a customer that was serving a certain geographic region, but they had distribution sites and warehouses in a broader or I should say the DCs that they had could deliver into a broader geographic region. And so the first thing came to be, well, the easiest way to expand revenue and help them, I won't even say grow, but gain more revenue share in this period was to say, how do we enable their commerce solution to be available in a more broad area so that they can start delivering? So it started being campaigns and everything else to that broader area. It started looking at their how they could ship in new shipping ways to sell products to these new geographies that may only be 50 miles further, right? So, again, we're really looking at finding the right people, making sure people are safe so they can focus on being very creative, come up with new ideas to help our customers. Some other things that have come up recently is, we have some customers that said business continuity is a critical thing, and they didn't have business continuity plans. So, we heard that from some of our customers. We quickly, some of our people had relationships with other, say, security and business continuity experts. We quickly built some relationships and some partnerships and have started offering that service to certain customers to help them not necessarily grow revenue, but protect their business, right? And make sure that they have a kind of almost an insurance plan. If, a certain location gets sick, how can they support the rest of the business by other means? And so, again, I think protect your people. Your people will find the best, most creative ways to help customers.
We're going to finish off with a fun question. If you were to be born with a superpower, what would it be?
I would be born with a superpower. It would be great if I could tell the future, especially in today's day and age. I look at everything going on, and I think being able to predict what's going to happen over the next 30, 60, 90 days would probably help me quite a bit in how we manage our business, what we communicate to our employees, what we communicate to customers, and just help reduce a lot of anxiety by a lot of people that are worried about what's going on. So predicting the future right now feels like one that would be top of mind.
Yeah, that sounds like it would have come in handy, definitely. Well, thank you, Greg. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it a little bit helpful, and hopefully shined light on a little bit how we should all navigate today's new reality. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.